Hi everyone, welcome back. This video today will be our stairwell, the upstairs and downstairs into the stairwell there. I've made a lot of changes and it is decorated for Christmas too. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I just thought I would start out here with the tree and some of the fun ornaments. I believe I showed this set of deer in the dining area a couple of Christmases ago because I think last year I had them upstairs on the bookcase there, possibly the last two shelves, but it was the old bookcase that we used to have that was on slanted legs, very mid-century looking. This bookcase from my brother's house that I decided to change to does not fit the standing deer like this one. So I told Norm, I'm sorry, Norm, I don't have anywhere to put them because I wasn't planning to put more of them in the dining area this year. I have thrifted more of them, and I believe it is the one lying down. No, it's the one sitting. I just found that one at Family Pathways. He does have less little holly, print marks on him than this one, but I believe I had this one last year. The first pair that I had found were these. They were like $12 in Hutchinson, and I didn't know if I wanted to invest in them or not because, for one thing, they do have more orange antlers, or I should say rusty color, but I did change the bow on them to be a little more of a orangey red bow. It's metallic, so they had a terrible crumpled up, I think more country looking bow on them as I recall. So that was the first thing that I decided to do, was fix them up, I think, to look a little more Christmassy. So of course that got me a little addicted to them. I found little tiny ones that I'll be showing you around the house. The kitchen area and the stairwell here that I will show you today, the little ones, they're so cute and so easy to display. But these bigger ones, they're going to take up some space trying to store them. But I did find for, I think, $3.50 for the one seated, and they had one standing like this one too at the Family Pathways a couple months ago, but I had enough standing ones. I did not have this position, so I weakened and got that one and some of their little ones, 2 sets of little ones. And I didn't take a sleigh, a bigger sleigh that was there. So I left a standing deer and a big sleigh for somebody else. But I did buy quite a few of these Kimple mold. I think they're like 80s. Some people have called them softies. Maybe it was a line of animals, because I've seen other animals that are really cute, but they're like just too cutesy. I think you can get away with this cutesiness for Christmas, but the other animals, I think of them as being more in a kid's room. The ones up here are much lighter tan, but these are brown deer. So that's okay. it's kind of fun to have a variety, different bows, and people did different prints on them. So I was apologizing to Norm because I got this brainstorm. I thought, oh, they would be really cute in the stairs. And Norm would come down holding the railing over here, as I would too. So I didn't think they would be in his way. And besides that, we have the shelf up above, so you kind of avoid that shelf, me and my shelves. I've got them everywhere. And I decided to put another one in the stairwell going down. Just a few days ago, I had Norm putting up another shelf. He thinks I'm totally wacko, but I'm glad he lets me get away with it. So we will go look at my angels up there that I have shown for at least 2 years now in the living room across the top long shelf in the middle over the fireplace. So you probably, if you've seen our videos, you've seen that's where I had them. But I did want to do something different this year with the green genie bottles and some of my green vintage planters. So then I had to find somewhere that I could figure out to put the angels. So I was anxious to put my Santa mugs all together this year. You have seen probably my other videos from years past where I had them here. But last year, as I recall, I had them scattered about on the kitchen shelving, and that was fun too. And I probably had some in the hutch. But there's been a couple years now, I believe, that I've put little collectibles, odd little cute Christmas items on this shelf. So I really don't have anywhere this year other than this shelf to put the Santa mugs on, because I have acquired more cute Christmas things, and I changed the shelving in the kitchen for one very long, less shelf. So that has limited me on what I can put out there now. It's a little simpler, but I still have plenty of cute things that I've mixed in with the vintage Christmas punch bowls mostly. I decided not to put out a lot of Pyrex. Now, I don't know if I've had the little Santa mugs up here before. I'm not remembering, because I do know I've had them on the bottom ledge after the top section out in the dining area on the hutch. I lined them up there for many years. So I did decide to put them here. It's fun to have them all together. There is, okay, this bold Mrs. Claus was newly thrifted this year. So that's the one and only new Santa related mug. I do have another Mrs. up here, and she is vintage. So I have kept Norm very busy putting up clocks. I have been on quite a clock kick, vintage. I just love them when they're more so starburst looking, or your beautiful reticulated metal, black and gold, scrolly gold look with them, which you'll see behind me. So we've had this one up over the bookcase to my right for many, many years. And it stopped working. And I did mention that in a video. It stopped. So we just didn't want to spend the money. last year to get it fixed, so it's been in a closet. Of course, we took the wooden slats or spokes, whatever you want to call them, rays, off of it to store it, and I had them in a Ziploc bag in a drawer. I asked Norm if I could put it back up again out here. I have never had anything up above this shelf, but I wanted that clock out here. So yes, it's quite large, but I gave him the bag of wooden rays, and he tried to put them on, and it wouldn't work. He said, "It's too tight. I can't get them on." I thought, oh, well, that's because I just realized that I swapped him for the big starburst clock that's in the living room. I'll show you what I mean. That is the other Elgin, same brand, clock. And those black rays were on this clock in the stairwell here. And I had sprayed the ones that were on that clock, I had sprayed them gold. So that clock there was on the red wall, the red accent wall, for quite a while with gold slats on it. I should say rays. And I decided to change back to black again, so I went and stole the ones out of the drawer that were black. And I asked Norm, which ones would you like on the clock up on that wall, way up high there? Would you like it to be more subtle and have them gold? And he said, no, I like the black. And I thought, well, yes, I do too. Okay, so we'll leave that with the black on it. I hope you don't mind me talking about these vintage clocks. I absolutely love them. So yes, I'm going to be going on and on about them. But it's because I've made many changes here in the past, just 2 weeks maybe. So yes, like I said, I've had Norm pretty busy. He's been very nice to help me with these clocks because I've changed everything around. This also has metal flat pieces that were sticking out between these gold brass rays, and they're kind of ugly. They were for sliding the large wooden rays onto. You're probably very familiar if you have a starburst clock. That's how it works. They slide on and kind of snap in place. So I told him I would just put it up with this because we're not going to obviously do anything right now. We can't repaint the gold slats. They unfortunately started chipping in the drawer being put together. So he did not like the way they looked at all. So we can't be spray painting them now. I love it the way it is. Yes, I'm missing out on the spectacular look of a starburst clock, but he unscrewed those small, flat-looking, stubby pieces of metal in between the rays, so it looks finished. And I do not have it running. Like I said, it stopped working. But I'm glad. I'm happy to have it there. I wanted something there. I've got a lot of other clocks I could have put there, but I want to get it out of the closet, along with another one that I'll show you that I've taken out of the closet. So thank you for listening to that funny story. It's always some kind of drama around here with Peggy Lou asking Norm to put up a clock or a shelf.
I got some unexpected guests here. I got it on telephoto, so I got to try to calm down here so I don't get jumping around too much, but I don't know where the heck these guys came from, and now they're coming right at me here. I'm going to put it down on 3. That's a little better. And there's a neighbor coming up here with his dog. These guys are pretty ugly looking. I just put garland on the fence. Never seen wild turkeys run around our neighborhood. I don't think they fly that much, but I'm sure they could fly into our backyard because it's all fenced in. But our neighbor and his little poodle is going to get chewed up here. They're looking for some food, and I just put it out down there. They're going to circle a couple more times and then come on in. Look at all this coming in. Wow. That's only about half of them. They're circling around to try to find a place to land without hitting everybody. There's more up there. A bunch of them in Dennis's yard. I think they can get through the fence, but they can't. They got to fly over it. Look at all these. Wow, that's quite a bit. Look at them all in Dennis's yard. They're trying to figure out how to get over here. A couple of them are smart enough. This is Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, 2022. And it's starting to get colder out. I think if I opened up the gate, they'd all take off, and that'd be quite a sight to see. But they'd come back. So let's, for the fun of it, just give that a shot. Okay, I was mean. I waved my hand at them. But they're hungry. They'll come back. I just wanted to show you how many they are and what they sound like when they take off. Let's close the door and let them have the rest of the food.
I'll start at the bottom here with a couple on top of each other here. 2 different very large thrifted vintage plastic greenery candle rings that are elongated, I assume, for your table, a centerpiece. But since I had one big one there on the bottom has the largest pine needles, the other one has a finer greenery. So I think they might be a little different if maybe the top one might be the only one that has fruit on it. I can't remember if the bottom one was not with fruit, but I thought that would fill in the space down here. I took all the radios away except the red and green ones. So here going upward is some of my angels. I know Norm helped me last year panning down the long shelf in the living room to show them, but this might even be a little better close-up for you. They're all thrifted from many years ago, except just a few days ago, he let me run in Rogers to both the antique malls in Rogers because I was looking for a skinny little vintage wooden shelf for the stairwell because I had so many cute extra Christmas little tiny things that I was running out of room. I know I should stop adding to our Christmas bins, but they're hard to resist when you know they're old and you find them at the thrift stores for 59 cents. So I did not find the shelf in the first antique mall, Rogers. Both of them are in Rogers across the street from each other. But when I went in the second one, I fell for these beauties. They are candle holders, vintage Japan, and there were 3 of them. They were marked $7 each. Beautiful, beautiful condition. I have seen these before and thought they were so cool, being in pink and red. So I decided to take just 2 and leave 1 for some other lucky gal. I think they're just beautiful. They even have stars in their eyes. I hope you can see that. What a nice find. I'm sorry, but I couldn't resist. My angel bin is getting very full. I have one that I've named Carolers, and they're smaller, to the shelf to the right of me. I try to put mostly the ones that look like carolers. That one with the Bible, or I should say the black. It could be a Bible, but I think of it as a book with carols in it on that angel, and I did used to have her over there to my right. But I needed kind of the size, and 2 green ones I decided to put here, and 2 red ones over there. Now I'm going to stand up to show you what's on the top shelf, because I'm on my knees right now. These 3 cuties are a set. They are adorable. Always thought they were really special. Singing their little hearts out. So these are the biggest ones. And I decided to only put 4. I had room for 5, but then it would have run into the bottom of my clock here that I'll show you in a minute, that I took out of the closet. Another one that's been in the closet for a long time. These gals are so beautiful. I wonder why they all have red hair. Now, her eyes are done very well. A lot of times the eyes don't look so great. They kind of look like a deer in headlights. Wow. Well, these are pretty good. Okay. This clock was in our dining area, where I now have a little white clock mounted on a large milk glass plate. It's battery. This one is electric. And I, had it up probably when I had all of the vintage bird plaques. You may have seen a video where I do show that I used to have bird plaques on that wall before I did the milk glass, but I wasn't making YouTube videos at that time. This is, I guess, quite a desirable clock. Let's see who made this one. Lux. And it was gold, but I was very into black. So, they can get patina on them that is Norm's not crazy about chippy, rusty looking things. And so you can pop that whole clock section out and spray paint the whole thing, including the rim. The rim is completely separate. I'm not getting real good light, but yeah, you can see there's a difference there. So that was easy to spray paint. And when I decided to start doing the milk glass plates, that's when I took it down, because like I say, it had a cord. I've cut the cord. I'm sorry, but I don't want a cord hanging down. It looks really ugly because it comes right, right down from there all the way through that pedal. An old looking cord. It's just not nice, and I don't want it behind this bookcase. It pushes the bookcase out from the wall further. So the reason why it dawned on me one night when I should have been sleeping that I have this clock possibly up in the closet. It was all covered up, so kind of out of sight, out of mind. We decided to buy these gorgeous vintage sconces at the Pink Elephant. Maybe it was September. And they were pricey, but Norm thought they were pretty cool. I, of course, was going nuts over them. I decided to have him mount them on the wall with these hooks that you pound into the wall. Not from whatever hook would be in the back of this flower. So we measured from the ceiling down to get them hopefully the same, but of course the clock isn't exact either. One pedal on the right here isn't necessarily exactly across from the other pedal. So it's not easy. That was another fun episode. I should record the two of us working to do something like that. You wouldn't believe it. I'm giving lots of orders. I know what I'm doing because I'm the one that's usually hanging stuff all by myself, measuring and remeasuring. I'm very experienced at hanging things up. Norm will agree with that. So anyways, I did have these two votives that have flowers on them. So I thought that was a little Christmassy. I should have put a little greenery ring around there. I'll find them. This I thrifted a year ago at Bibles for Missions. It's the cutest little macrame tree. It sure is old. You know how I think that it's old? Look at how rusty those bells are. Oh my, they are so rusty looking. I don't know how that would happen, but there's one up here too. I don't think they make them that way. Isn't that crazy? So I did have this there before, probably last year. But I hope you like my New design. We had a big fancy clock here that I will show you to the right. It's been moved into the stairwell now, and I love it. I think about these things for days, and I think, I gotta get Norm to help me because he's got to reach for some things. But I thought, wow, those new sconces, even when we bought them, I didn't know where I was going to put them. I really didn't. But I got to thinking, oh, that clock, if it's in the closet, would really go with these. So Norm agrees. He's very happy with this. Thank goodness. Yes, I'm lucky. He's very, very good to me with all of this fun retro stuff, but I'm glad he likes it. There. That looks better. Yeah, that's festive. Over here again this year, Norm seems to like this Christmas tree sitting on this table here in the dark. It's very bright and very nice. It is musical, and it is called a lava tree. It has a pearly white finish or iridescent. The little bulbs are very tedious to put in there. They are not stuck in there. They're loose. This I just thrifted at the Goodwill. She's very big. And she was musical, but she's kind of stuck. So that doesn't bother me, but she's in beautiful condition and she was really inexpensive at the Goodwill. So I had a hard time leaving her behind. It's the biggest white angel that looks like a young girl that I have. I mean, it's nothing like the taller ones that look like more mature women. She's pretty young looking. So that is where we tend to keep this. I would like to mention again, in case you have not seen our other videos, with the tree, we bought a tall bulb, a narrow tall bulb that is an LED. So this is very cool to the touch. You can have it burning all evening and shouldn't feel guilty because, number one, your tree is not getting hot, and number two, you're not spending much money to have it lit. So I like that. It's very nice to get the taller bulbs to be up higher. Oh, I see, I still missed a bulb. I tried to get them all, but I'm missing one up in the top there, so I'm not doing the video over, sorry. It's good enough, but I'll find another one. We have some more. So there are some of the carolers that I will go show you, but first I want to explain two more purchases at Wild Collective Vintage, where I think I bought about 5 clocks now at least. This one was a month ago. It's absolutely adorable to me. It is a vintage General Electric, and it is plastic. Nice texture on the wrought iron look. This one, I was so excited to see. It wasn't there. I've been to that new mall, Wild Collective Vintage, not very far from us, many times. Norm and I are finding so many fun things there, and I think they're pretty reasonable. But this showed up. I was looking for clocks from the very beginning. Kitchen clocks, very fun kitchen ones that you will see again in my dining area video coming up. But this one is really heavy. It is also General Electric, but there's another word there under it. Is that Telecron? I think so. But this clock is so heavy. It's like solid metal. Unbelievably heavy. It's not that huge, but I think it's gorgeous. I love the shadows cast from our light up above on these clocks being scrolly like that and, sticking out from the wall. I just think that's really cool. So Norm thinks I've kind of gone off the deep end here with clocks. But they make me happy. I love black and gold. I just love the curly cues. They're nostalgic to me. Anything vintage just makes me feel better. I just feel like I'm in a simpler time. I bet you feel the same way. So I have shown these before. The two little choir boys were here previously, but I did have a different, taller red angel. But this guy in the middle is just so cool. He's the only one I have that has that much orange on him. Just really, really colorful. I think he is super cool. So you've seen these before, so I won't spend too much time on them. I love the green one with her eyes closed. I think she's adorable. The yellow one is new this year to me. I did find her, I believe, at Goodwill. I think she's in a video too that I did in the early fall. Yeah, so I took her. I thought she was worth it. She wasn't very expensive. And those two angels that match are also very sweet. So let's go see what I did in the stairwell below with the clocks. That big one used to be over the bookcase. I showed it many times in videos this summer. But I've been swapping out a bunch. It's fun. So this is what I've been working on, trying to figure out with previous nail holes. Not easy to do. You might have seen a stairwell video. I only did one downstairs here a long time ago. I showed where that little shelf is and where the clock is were two very long bird gravel art pictures from the 60s. They were in golds and yellows and white background. One is egret, one is more peacock looking. They're out there. They're not uncommon. I did see one of them at Wild Collective Vintage recently that somebody even put glass over it and framed it. But I've had them in the stairwell for many, many years. And to tell you the truth, I'm kind of tired of them. The two plaques down there, I will show you close up. Those are old Miller Studio. No, they weren't Miller Studio. They were somebody else. But anyways, big chalkware lily flowers, I think. They're still in the same position they were in between those two big long pictures. So I was able to hang another new clock down there, all plastic, from Wild Collective Vintage. I just love it. And I found a shelf, and I'll tell you about the shelf. But first, let me show you that You remember we had a very large diamond mirror. I first had it down here on this nail, heavy duty nail with a plug in it, usually, for many years. And it was kind of hard to clean. It was hard to reach. A lot of times we'd take it down for a big Christmas picture to put up there. And I just kind of was getting bored with it because I love these clocks so much. And I asked Norm, could I please take down the big mirror, and could I have this up here and then this one that got put in a closet too. I showed it in a Halloween video a year ago, and I haven't shown it since. I love it. This was from the Pink Elephant. I just love it. So he did that for me. Swapped them around, and I want you to notice, I feel better. The big mirror angle did not match up to the angle of the shelf up there, but this clock does. It matches up just great. So I do feel better about that, but I love that clock. Now this shelf was from the turquoise bedroom, and Norm kicked me out of the turquoise bedroom. So I have all these neat vintage diamond shelves and flower shelves that were in the closet or hanging from the rafters. I don't want to get rid of them. So these are a newly thrifted set of girls, and I really like them. They're pretty bold compared to the other ones because of all the white on them. So let's go down and I'll show you another clock. I just love these wrought iron ones. I should explain that when Norm and I were married in 1969, our first lamps were wrought iron base, and they had an olive green, very thin, soft plastic shade. Even our dinette set had wrought iron backs on it, and red and black flowered vinyl seats on them. Mediterranean furniture was very popular when we got married. So our lamps and a lot of our furniture was pretty ornate. The fronts of our whole bedroom set, all of the front drawers, and were really scrolly like this. They were very fun, and I loved it. So that's, I guess, why I'm still attracted to that. This is a little plastic Spartus, kitchen-y maybe. I don't know, maybe not. You'd probably use it in the dining room, but it's just all plastic and made to look like wood. So it really did go with these plaques. And these are really thick and heavy chalkware plaques. They look like daylilies to me. And that gold leaf area is really tarnished. I've thought many times of putting fresh gold on there. I can still do that. I just haven't bothered to fuss over them because they're in the stairwell here. But they are dated. The side says 1960. And the back might say who made them, but oh, what am I seeing here? That's probably upside down. Michigan COMP, I think that's composition, something like that. So I still like them. We bought these in Duluth in Canal Park at a at an antique shop in Canal Park. Well, this is the shelf I ended up with. We did run around looking for a vintage wooden shelf for down here that would be very, very narrow. And we purchased one finally in Anoka, but I just couldn't make it work with the nails. There was this big screw up there in the right corner. I'm sorry that they're showing, but I'll fix them up eventually with some gold paint or black paint, whatever. But I was in Hobby Lobby looking for the greenery, and I wanted to go look at their shelves. This was the only one left of this design. It's very, very narrow, and it was a $50 shelf, half price. So I was pretty excited because look at how modern that looks. It's just so simple. I wanted to put some of my overflow Christmassy things on it. I had so many cute little things. So I wanted to do that. I should have turned that little candle on for you. I'll do that. And these are two new deer I found. They're so cute because they're really hanging off the shelf. That's the way they were made. Norm's making noise he's in the TV room next to me. I should have him come out and say hello. I'm filming. I just wanted you to say hi.
Hi.
I'm telling him about how Norm didn't want me to get this shelf.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's because he was hoping I would find an old one. And this is good enough. I just said, Norm, we don't even have to keep it up here in the stairwell. I don't want it to be in your way. I just wanted something kind of quick for some overflow. These are 3 deer that I had. Did I buy these this year? Yes. It was these 2 that were the newest from Family Pathways when I got some of the others upstairs. But these I had, I think. It's really hard for me to remember. I'd have to go back and look at all my pictures, but I did thrift a lot of these deer. They were like about $250 for the medium size, $350 for the big ones. So anyways, this is what I managed to end up with, kind of overflow, cutesy collectible. This is an update. We went to Wild Collective Vintage because Norm and I had seen what we believe is a 70s shelf with the clock in it. The clock is not identified. I don't know if this was a factory piece or if somebody handmade it. I do think it was probably factory. The owner of, one of the owners of Wild Collective Vintage thought that it could be from the 70s. We saw it way high up on a wall, and I did really like it. I knew it was big. And of course, it's kind of hard to tell if it was going to work out with all the nails I had on the wall behind me. But when we went back there, we went, because it was an open house, to their newly expanded area. Very, very nice. It's really a big place now. Just so much fun to shop there. So Norm said, you know, I really do like this one better. And he said you could put it on the other side because it's really narrow. As you can tell, these are really small figurines. I wanted to show you that I did have plenty of little figurines to take from my dining room hutch. I had some of these and also had some on the kitchen shelving. I really didn't need them there. I think it's a lot more fun to have them in something like this. And I have always admired shelving that looks like little cubbies. Cubbies of all sizes are very, very popular with collectors that I've noticed. I did have that boot last year. I did have her. She's, I assume, missing her mate, but she was so adorable. I probably got her at a thrift store. My brother gave me these elves. They may be Lefton. I just found her. I don't think I had her last year. Maybe I did. She's kind of frosted. And I did thrift a couple of Avon bottles. There's the candles up above. I did have these two last year and a couple years before that. And I had Santa. I'm going to stay up on this side first because I got to step down. So there's the other Avon bottle. And these are new for me. I found them, I don't know. I think it was at Bibles for Missions. So inexpensive, they're just adorable little set. Let me look and see if there's any identification on the bottom. Yep, they have a gold sticker on the bottom that says UNESCO. So they are very nice quality pieces. Really, really sweet. And she's an individual salt shaker. I don't have Santa. I found her at the thrift store too quite a few years ago, and this is an individual also salt. The girl is missing. I've had these two cute little chalkware pieces for quite a while. These two are new and they're candle holders. I found them too at a thrift store. And I don't know if I had these last year or not. Very cute. Thrifted them somewhere. Even when I get things at the antique malls, they're so reasonable because I usually am finding these cute things in Hutchinson, somewhere out of town. So reasonable. I've had this cute little bear for several years, and I just found her this year. She is adorable. Bibles for Missions had her. So cute. I've had this little elf for many years, and I just found this beautiful deer this year at Bibles. So pretty. This is a toy that I stole from Norm's shelving. It is so cute when you wind him up. He goes sideways and waves his hands back and forth. He's really, really cute. And she is new as of last night when we got this shelf. There was another girl, but her leg was broken. She was playing an instrument like a mandolin, maybe. But she's the kind that has the rabbit fur, I'm thinking, for hair. Really cute. So this is something that we will keep here. There are a couple little nail holes that we still will probably have to work to cover up. Thank you for looking at this extra piece too. Again, we wish you a very blessed holiday season and a very healthy, happy new year.